Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter.
I'm Floyd Mayweather. With all the tools that Terence Crawford has, I will pick Terence Crawford to beat a prime Mayweather.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman explains why it would be interesting to watch Terence Crawford battle Floyd Mayweather. He commends Crawford recognizes Floyd's greatness in his heyday and calls him the greatest unquestioned fighter of our time. Kellerman claims that Mayweather was practically unbeatable in his day due to his skill on defense. He thinks Crawford has established himself at the highest level and has the means to compete with even a fighter of Mayweather's caliber, even though his skill set now makes him dominant. The clash represents the best of two eras for Kellerman. Fans would never forget the matchup between a strong defense and a flexible offense.
At his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
I don't. Because Terence Crawford got more to bring. He got more to bring to the table.
He's a great fighter.
Floyd Mayweather got the little shoulder roll. I get it. Controls distance. But Terence Crawford is also a master at distance. Terence Crawford has punching power to hurt Floyd Mayweather. We saw that in the Sam Judah fight now.
Yeah, Shane too. Shane hurt him with the right hand.
Shane hurt him as well.
Yep.
And did he fight Shane? But did Floyd fight Shane in his prime? Do you think he fought him in his prime?
Shawn Porter considers the ongoing arguments between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, pointing out that the parallels frequently obscure their respective brilliance. He claims that when asked who would win, people automatically choose Floyd since Mayweather's name is so ingrained as an unbeaten icon. Porter, however, notes that Crawford is not given the recognition he merits because of this implicit assumption. He emphasizes that Mayweather is the original, the trailblazer who established the bar for supremacy, and as such, he is the OG. He does, however, recognize Crawford's achievements and remind supporters that these two fighters come from distinct eras and are both great in their own right.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah,
Yes. He's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ and that
The
success
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
And I just
yeah.
believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Crawford has responded to the constant comparisons with a succinct yet impactful message. He acknowledges without reservation that Floyd Mayweather was the best fighter of his time, a fighter who revolutionized the sport and attained historic domination. However, Crawford is adamant that he is the one establishing new benchmarks for greatness in this day and age. His opinion is respectful and self-assured, emphasizing that the best boxer of each generation should be honored rather than greatness being determined by who wins imaginary fights. Crawford's esteem as a fighter and as a sports scholar is demonstrated by this fair assessment.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Do you talk the talk and you sure walk the walk? Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now,
Crawford has stated unequivocally that he has no intention of fighting Floyd Mayweather. Although supporters could dream of such a fight, Crawford denies the notion, stating that he has no desire to pursue or defeat Floyd. He is more concerned about completing his career on his own terms. This posture demonstrates maturity because he is not attempting to destroy the reputation of a retired fighter in order to establish his legacy. Crawford is more concerned with ensuring his own place in history and retiring with honor after accomplishing his goals.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, being Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I wasn't never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
Crawford cites Canelo Alvarez's viewpoint as noteworthy due to the fact that Canelo has faced both Crawford and Mayweather. Canelo's claim that Crawford is the superior fighter is credible because he has faced both opponents in the ring. Crawford maintains his respect, pointing out that Mayweather was the greatest of his own period and that it is now his turn to be considered the greatest of this one. This harmony between Canelo's viewpoint and Crawford's modesty demonstrates that, although external judgments are significant, respect between fighters across generations is just as crucial in determining greatness.
You know, one where he felt like he was at the best, you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter in my era.
One thing that I thought was really interesting about the fight, I always love watching you switch stances as effortlessly as you do. You didn't do that a lot in this fight. You didn't have to. Were you expecting not to have to?
No, I felt like I could have, but, you know, why do something when something else is working?
By referring to Mayweather as a legend and emphasizing that there is no genuine need for a comparison, Crawford further demonstrates his admiration for him. He emphasizes that Mayweather's reign of supremacy has already been cemented in history. Crawford frames the discussion to respect both men's achievements, even while his own time is about creating a different kind of legacy by avoiding a direct rivalry. By embracing several expressions of excellence rather than requiring a single, conclusive response. This strategy not only eliminates pointless comparisons, but also enhances the sport.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Shawn Porter, right?
No. No.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
I beat your ass?
Okay, that's a no. That's a no.
Chris Algieri also commented on the argument, highlighting how difficult it is to draw comparisons between Crawford and Mayweather. He says that because there are so many variables at play, debates on who is the greatest can degenerate into never-ending arguments. Different times, different opponents, and various situations. Algieri advises fans to acknowledge that both fighters are exceptional in their own right rather than attempting to choose one as the greatest of all time. His remarks provide context and serve as a reminder to everyone that the fixation on identifying one man as superior frequently detracts from acknowledging the genius of both.
And no, the discussion about, because Canelo was asked this question, who's better, Floyd or Crawford, and he immediately went to Crawford. Now, is that recency bias? Is that him protecting his own performance? Is that a veiled shot at Floyd? Probably all of the above. Is it really true? I don't know. And I think Crawford had a great answer. He goes, well, we're different eras. Floyd was, the best of his era. I'm the best of mine, which is a very diplomatic way to go about it. But listen, comparing the two is going to be an endless barbershop conversation that's going to go back and forth over literally the annals of time. I don't think we're ever going to be able to have a distinct argument where you're going to say, this is it. I actually want to do a video where I argue both sides with the same veracity and veracity, because it's that, because there is that much. There is that much about it, and you can, which is an awesome thing, because this is going to be the barbershop. Like, yeah, well, Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis. Well, he knocked out Joe Louis. Yeah, but he's 170. Like, we're gonna. That's the conversation
127 years old.
In real time with guys that we've all seen, literally overlapping errors. So those discussions will always be there. It's great fodder. It's great barbershop debate. In the debate, it's debate. Yeah, it's going to be subjective.
I agree.
I think objectively, I don't think there's a way to really separate.
Yeah, I agree. And I prefer, as I was thinking about it, like, wow, I can't believe I've watched the Floyd era, the Crawford era, the Usyk era. It's like I've gotten to see some really great fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in the 90s, when boxing was, everybody was going head to head. There wasn't a guy that stood out like Floyd, Crawford, and Usyk, where it was super, super dominant.
Crawford performed precisely as he thought he could against Canelo Alvarez, according to Robert Garcia, who praised his performance. Crawford's strength, skill, and poise in the ring were emphasized by Garcia, who also said that the win was evidence of his talent and training. Crawford's argument as one of the greatest of all time was reinforced when he defeated Canelo, demonstrating his ability to dominate even the biggest stars. Garcia's acknowledgement demonstrates that both seasoned trainers and analysts acknowledge Crawford's accomplishments and further solidifies his position in the sport.
That you gave Crawford a really good chance. Did you see on Saturday night exactly why you gave him that chance?
I think so. He's very talented. He's a very disciplined fighter also. He's healthy. And, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, he hasn't fought, or he didn't look too good against Madrimov at 154. How can he look good? He's a talented fighter. And that challenge for him pushed him even harder to train harder and to be better. That challenge, went up against Canelo, moving up 2 divisions, hearing that people are saying, oh, he didn't look too good against Madrimov, so how could he look good at 68? Well, that motivated more, man. He trained hard. He did what he had to do. I always said, I wasn't going to put money on it because it's also very dangerous, right? Canelo's a beast, strong. So I never really, I wasn't going to put money on it, but I did give him a chance. He's got talent, man. He's got skills, and what he did was unbelievable, man. We were, there was another show that we do with Boxing Scene, and we had it right before the fight, at 4 o'clock, before the main card started. And they asked me, what's your final prediction? I said, you know what? I'm going to say it, Crawford by decision. Because I talked to Bomac on Thursday night. They're in Vegas. And he seemed very positive, motivated. So that kind of gave me a little, you know what? My final prediction is Crawford by decision.
Teddy Atlas gave a thorough analysis of Crawford's triumph, complimenting him on his composure and ability to perceive things that others in the ring cannot. He saw that Crawford shone tactical brilliance by using the jab with accuracy and effectiveness. Atlas also reminded supporters that Canelo was much younger and less experienced when he faced Mayweather, drawing comparisons between the circumstances of his bouts with Floyd and Crawford. Canelo, on the other hand, was more experienced but still inferior to Crawford when they faced off. Atlas also brought up the age difference, pointing out that Crawford defeated Floyd at almost 38 and Floyd was 40 when he faced Canelo. This research demonstrates Crawford's accomplishments' breadth and the reasons they are noteworthy.
But he's not digital. There's only a few guys that are digital. What do I mean by that? He's not Crawford. What do I mean by that? Where does it separate? Instincts, eyes, calmness, the mind wonders. I know the body wondered. I saw the combinations. Canelo's throwing one at a time, and Crawford's hitting him with 3, 4, 5 shots. He put them together. He's controlling the range. Yes, he had the reach advantage. Yes, he used it. He used the jab. He controlled the reach. But it's more than that. It's the mind at work. He's more advanced. He sees things. He's calm in an uncommon environment, calmer than most. So calm here, see things others don't see. Just a millisecond. I was explaining this to Stephen A. the day before. Just a millisecond before someone else sees it, he sees it. And he's got the mental control. The confidence, the supreme confidence Customado talked about. He said he only saw 2 fighters with that. Teddy Atlas. Teddy, I only saw 2 fighters with supreme confidence. Sugar Ray Robinson, greatest fighter of all time, and Muhammad Ali. Where they don't believe you can beat them. That's Crawford. All of that together, mixed together, makes a perfect cocktail of supremeness, of greatness, of another level, of digital. And that's what he sees things, he reacts to, he sees a twitch.
Since he has sparred with both Mayweather and Crawford, Canelo Alvarez has publicly acknowledged that Crawford is the superior boxer. This assertion carries a lot of weight. The argument in support of Crawford gains credibility with Canelo's recognition of his superiority and expertise. Canelo is considered to have made one of the most trustworthy contributions to the discussion because his viewpoint is based on first-hand experience rather than conjecture. It supports the notion that Crawford is among the top fighters in the world right now due to his accomplishments and current form.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know, we knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do. Right, I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement, or his speed, or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
The comparisons to Mayweather escalated following Crawford's convincing victory over Canelo, with many admitting that it is practically hard to determine who is superior. Crawford distinguished himself by becoming uncontested in several weight classes and winning 4 titles in various categories, setting a record that Mayweather himself was never able to match. Although Floyd's perfect record is still unrivaled, Crawford is special in his own right because of his capacity to rise through several divisions and bring them together. Since many people consider Crawford to be on par with Mayweather, if not better in certain ways, this establishes him as a legendary boxer.
After last night's match between Crawford and Canelo, I am not gonna lie, that boy Crawford up there with Floyd. The way he went toe-to-toe with a heavy hitter like Canelo is actually crazy, bro. And this is probably one of Crawford's best fights. Like, he was super sharp. Like, dude was super sharp, super clean, and he stayed in that pocket. People talking about that Crawford was running. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't look like he was running at me. It looked like he was taking them hits on the chin. I mean, for God's sakes, bro. He got stung in the head and took himself to the hospital. Like, dude, real life like that. And I know that, you know, Floyd, he real live, you know, he a good boxer. Floyd is actually one of my favorite boxers. But Crawford is now becoming one of my favorite boxers because he's very, like, skillful. The technicality of him and just the decisions he makes in that ring, bro, to get up on a scoreboard is crazy. And he's not like one of them fighters like how Shakur, he boxes for points. And that's cool. That's the way boxing's supposed to go, I guess. But Terence, you can get that from him, but you can also get that aggressiveness when he in that pocket and he throwing a couple hooks and trying to take you out. But I will say, Canelo even said it. He said, bro, he thinks that Crawford is way better than Floyd. And they asked him, like, why would you, think that? He just said everything he does is different. I can't understand the style of boxing he had. And he was saying that he's good in everything when it comes to the ring. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, Canelo is not lying. Like, Crawford is like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. To stand toe-to-toe with Canelo, that actually is crazy because everybody knows he's a heavy hitter. Like he's a knockout artist. But yeah, he definitely deserves it, bro. That boy Crawford 42-0, and I don't know why he's even thinking about retiring, but you got to pass up Floyd. I'm not gonna lie, you need to get some more semis under your belt, because if you pass up Floyd, that's when the rumblings are going to really be like, oh yeah, he's the best. I don't think he's going to retire. I think that he still go, fight it out.